brothers and sisters don't spend, I believe, enough time in. And that's to change the rules of the game. What I'm speaking of is specifically trying to change and alter and amend the Constitution of this country. You know, evolutionary movements of the past and in the present, elsewhere in the world, haven't just kicked out oligarchs or dictators. They haven't just changed laws concerning this or that. They have rewritten constitutions to make them more authentically inclusive, more democratic, more just, more nonviolent, more peaceful, more basically fair and equitable in many cases. Sometimes it hasn't always been the case, but you get the point. We cannot ignore, I think, changing the rules of the game. Incredibly important. And to do that authentically, I think, is to understand that that thing that we call the Constitution today was designed from from day one, to be a property rights document that uplifts property rights over human rights. And to a great extent, it still does. And because that is the grounding, the foundation, it's awfully difficult on that foundation to build justice, peace, nonviolence, sustainability, and equitability. It's awfully difficult. So I suggest, respectfully, that part of our quest doesn't have to be central, doesn't have to be the first thing we do, but a part of what we do is to include that in the mix. That's why I've been involved in Move to Amend, which is trying to amend the Constitution, a piece of it, to end corporate constitutional rights and money being defined as free speech. But there's a lot more amending that needs to be done, a lot more. And Brother Saladin last evening spoke about one of the kinds of strategies that is being done at the grassroots level to do that, to come together and to envision sort of a more democratic kind of collective ground rules. And that's something called a People's Movement Assembly. People's Movement Assemblies are being done all over the country. It's a tool that maybe the Labor Fight Back Network, or maybe some of you, just Google it. Find out what it is. It's a way, an excuse, a type of organizing handle to bring people together to be involved in a collective way, an authentic democratic way. Lastly, to be kind. What does that mean today? For us, I think it means, well, first, it doesn't mean not being soft, run over, or passive. It's not what we mean by being kind. What it means is, for number one, to be kind to yourself. It's easy, is it not, to beat up ourselves for what we haven't done, for the inability to stop this war or that injustice or that toxic landfill or that inability to prevent harms being done in our community toward people of color, toward many oppressed and underserved individuals. It's awfully easy to beat up oneself. Try not to do that. To be kind also means to treat those that we work with, occasionally or more frequently. Yeah, we can have differences. We'll have differences. That's sort of the human condition. But to understand that there's differences that we can live with and those that maybe are not. What I was told once is you can find compromise, and it's okay to compromise on the non-essentials, but don't on what you think is the real core fundamentals. Don't compromise on those, but things that are not so essential, give it up. And to respect one another. We all come from different places and have different experiences. And I think trying to respect those. And Jerry, certainly didn't agree with many of the things I did, and vice versa. And I'm sure the same was with you, same with Bonnie. But we were kind toward one another, and I think Jerry, despite sort of a crusty surface sometimes, was an incredibly kind person. To be kind is also to be kind to those who have come before us. the people whose shoulders we stand on, but also to be kind for those generations to come. We have a responsibility to not screw this up. And lastly, and this may be the hardest, it's to be kind to those who, in a great many respects, are those who are committing the greatest harms to us in our communities. To make a distinction between them as human beings and what they do. To oppose with every ounce of our energy what they do, but nevertheless to see, if possible, the humanity of them. And to make the distinction between what they do as individuals and the structures and institutions behind them that are causing the violence and the injustice. Not as a blank check to excuse their behavior, but to understand.